You're listening to the PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
Here goes Mowing it down! How about a poster? Anthony Davis is on fire!
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, we are the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network. Welcome aboard, everybody. It's podcast 165 on the podcast. So we'll be covering in today's episode the Pelicans' 107 to 101 loss. That's right, loss to the Houston Rockets. We'll cover this game with stats, facts, and breakdowns on the game with a very animated El Gentry and a very heavy topic center. So get ready for buckle yourselves in, strap yourselves in, and get ready for a slam-packed show as we bring y'all in, give y'all a round of applause for joining us on the Pelican Postgame Report tonight. Thanks to all the donators and the sponsors and everybody that help us do what we love to do, and that's cover the Pelicans here on the Pelican Postgame Report. I'm Big Q coming in with my co-host via Skype, DC. How you doing tonight, friend?
Oh, I'm pissed off, man. It's some bullshit.
All right, DC, settle yourself, brother. This is a fabulous show. But we're going to talk about that.
Tell El Gentry that. He pissed off, too.
Well, Gentry did his best to kind of reframe himself. We got that very animated press game anyway. But tonight, before we get into that, let's do our rundown here on the show, brought to you by the good folks at The Posh Lifestyle. So visit The Posh Lifestyle, www.theposhlifestyle, life spelled with a Y, Lyfe style.com for all your organic supplement needs. Heirloom seeds, water filters, air filters, a little bit of everything, books, all kind of great and beautiful gadgets and things such as EMF protection from your cell phone. Protect yourself from the radiation that your cell phone emits with the EMF protectors, and other great and fabulous products at the Posh Lifestyle. Music, hair, all kind of great stuff. So go there and check them out. Not just the website, but a lifestyle, www.theposhlifestyle.com. Type in The Sports Coma, all lower caps, and receive 10% off on your final purchase. Coming into the rundown. The Pels, of course, they lose tonight 107-101 to the Houston Rockets. This was a must-win game, no doubt about it. A very tough Saturday afternoon game here. Against the Rockets, just didn't come up the Pelicans' way, thanks to a number of factors, and we'll get into them. And the Pels over the last 5 games.
Fouls you said?
Say again?
You said a number of fouls?
No. I was just speaking in terms of factors, a number of factors that didn't go their way.
Foul factors?
That is one of them, yes.
Okay.
We'll talk about that, and also we'll talk about the fact that the Pelicans have fell since the winning streak. They're now officially 1-4. Since the streak, they have now fell all the way from number 5, all the way to number 8, being that San Antonio won today. They beat Minnesota. They moved from the 8th seed and jumped all the way up to 5, forced the Pelicans down to the 8th seed, and they were a game and a half ahead of both Denver and the Clippers. And for the final spot, of course, the Pelicans are now have a little wiggle room, I guess you could say, a game and a half over those two teams sitting just outside the playoffs.
Another 10-game winning streak, bro.
Perhaps they're going to need it. We're going to talk about the fact, we're going to mention one of the most popular topics right now is the fact that the refs messing up the game. Now, of course, we're going to talk about that because this is not the first time you've been listening to the Pelican Postgame Report. We've been talking about very curious, suspect, and just plain outright no calls, unfair calling the referees. And this is not one team. This is not one team of refs. This is uniformly bad calls by the referees dealing with the Pelicans over the last 5 games. Very curious.
They winked at him.
Very curious here about this ridiculousness, and we'll get into it. Of course, we're going to play El Gentry's 3-minute rant. We're going to give you the entire uncut, unfeathered edition of Al Gentry as he woke up. Some call him Sleepy Gentry, but he was up loud and uncut, letting you have it, not caring about being fine. And this was what wins.
You gotta respect his mind.
This is what makes fans and people get behind you when you tell it like it is, man. Tell it like it is, and we're gonna play that. We're gonna talk about the Pelicans losing ground in the playoff race. We'll get into that. What happened and what needs to happen for this to stop. We'll cover that. And then we'll preview the Boston Celtics matchup with stats, facts, and predictions on that game. We'll also, other topics we'll have. Before we get into that in the second segment, we'll talk about where is E'Twaun Moore, like where is Carmen? Remember the little game they used to have is where is Carmen? What was that? San Diego. Where is E'Twaun Moore? Where is he hiding? We're gonna
playing with his fingernails.
And we're going to give our big up segment starting here on the Pelican post-game report. We're going to bring in our big up segment, and we'll mention a couple of players that deserve a lot of credit, even though the Pelicans didn't. Right, the coaches as well, if they deserve to get the big ups as well. Now, let's get right on into it after the rundown. DC, we recapping this game, man, and I'm looking at some of the stats here. The Pelicans really fought in this game. I mean, they shot 50% from the field. They wasn't that terrific from the three-point line, about 33%. They turned the ball over 14 times in the game. 14 times.
Yeah.
They didn't out-rebound, but they didn't lose the out-rebound battling by that much. They had 81 attempts in this game, 41 of 81 for 50%.
Don't forget about that 91% from the free throw line.
It probably would have meant a lot more if they had got some more attempts. Then they had a battle, they won the points in the paint battle decisively, 50-38 in this game, but yet only got to the line 12 times. Before we get into any more topics, what is your estimation or your guesstimation or your comment on this game before we get into Al Gentry?
Al Gentry gonna sum it all up for me, man. But I basically feel like he did. I feel like it's a setup. It's an epic setup for us to fail, man. They're stealing crucial, very crucial moments in games away from us on ticky-tack fouls that they call on us and blatant all-out fouls that they don't call on our end. So this game, more than any other game, I think summed it up. We weren't playing the best, but I think they did a decent job defensively other than these wide-open three-pointers they kept giving up, guarding the Rockets, and they slowed them down to 107. But they had 18 free throw attempts to our 12, man, and we was in the paint a lot more. AD probably only had 4 free throw attempts out of his 18 shots. And I think also him taking only 18 shots was another reason that we lost this game.
Absolutely, man. It was pathetic, to be honest with you. Like we said, we've been chronicling this, and it's just outright pathetic how these referees have been calling the game. But here's Coach Al Gentry.
They got the juice, man. They just can't get the calls, man. Everything keep bouncing against them, and it seems to be on purpose, in my opinion.
Here go Al Gentry. He's going to expound.
I thought we played hard. I thought we competed. I thought we did everything we had to try to win the game. That's what I thought. You know, the thing that bothers me more than anything, and I really don't care, is that, we try to play the right way and we play our ass off, and then what happened to us is that, AD never gets a call. He never gets a call. We talk about them holding him. We talk about them grabbing him on rolls. We're talking about him coming under him on post-up. He never gets a call. Not one. And you know why? Because he doesn't bitch and complain about it. He just keep playing the game. And so then it comes down to a few plays in the game. You can't guess on plays when you got teams playing for playoff spots. You can't guess on the game. You can't guess on a foul. When a guy's got his hands on his chest and he's got his hand in and you call a three-point shot, that's not right. That's not correct. That's not the way you do it. And then you give them the ball back on another play when they undercut a player, that's not right either. That's not correct. That's not the way you call the game. It's not. And then when you can get technical fouls from walking away from a guy, then this league has really changed. I walked away from him so I wouldn't get a technical. That being said, I thought we did everything we could to try to win the game. That's a great team down there. They're a great team with a great player. You know, to me, he's the MVP of the league. He's done everything to earn that. You know, his team got the best record. He's a closer. He comes up with big shots when he needs to. You know, and they got two guys, he and CP, that can close the game that are great players. And that's a great team down there, and Mike's done a great job coaching. But all I'm saying is that, you know, if you're going to do that, then call it both ways. You know, when AD rolls to the basket and AD's grabbed and he's held, then give him the same call that you would give somebody else. That's all. It's not right. It's not right. Because you know what? We're battling our ass off for a playoff spot. And all we want is to have the game called the right way. And I'll take the damn fine that they're going to give me tomorrow. That's fine. But I'm sick of it because we hadn't said anything the whole year. We hadn't said one thing about it the whole year. We talk about it, we send it in, we write it down on the evaluation. Can you please watch the screening rolls? Can you please watch them grabbing AD? Can you please watch them under him when he's shooting the basketball? Okay. But nothing ever happens with it. And so I'm sick and tired of it. And so I'll take whatever they want to give me, that's fine. But you know, all I want to do is have an equal opportunity to win the game. And not have an opportunity where we're guessing out of the corner on the biggest play of the game where we call a three-point foul. Everybody look at that. You take a look at that. If anybody out here thinks it's a foul, then you tell me. Then I'll shut up and I won't say one more thing ever again. You take a look at the play. You take a look at the play when the guy walks up and winks his eye and says, you know, like, yeah, I got him, you know. Thanks. Bye.
That's Coach Al Gentry, man. Animated Coach Al Gentry, upset about the NBA. DC once coined it, the mafia refs. They're operating quite efficiently, and this is what I like to see from Al Gentry. Upset, angry, hopping mad, and tomorrow we'll see if the NBA, or probably Monday they'll roll out the fine to see how it is. But you can't, for one freaking second, watch this game. The last thing he said, I agree with him wholeheartedly on everything he said. 100%.
He ain't say nothing wrong.
Not a damn thing. The foul that they called when the player ran underneath and undercut Ian Clark and took his legs out from under him. Not only did they not call that a foul, but they said that Ian Clark knocked the ball out and they rewarded it to Houston. They did that after stopping the game and looking at the tape, and still called it the same way originally. That is, and see,
they could have at least gave us the ball, man, and just, you know, act like they didn't see it go off his leg.
For those who have eyes, let them see. For those who watch and speculate these games, and those who pay attention, we know what's going on. We've seen this since they've come off this streak. There have been some pathetic, terrible referees calling these games. They had one decent officiated game where they gave the Pelicans their due. The rest of the games was pathetic, including a crappy, terrible, underhanded, filthy, disgusting game where they only allowed the Pelicans to go to the free throw line 9 times. 9 times the entire game. One game, they didn't call a foul for 32 minutes. Anthony Davis is out there getting his ass kicked. Throwing his hands up, waving, and the referees, when he gets upset, they throw a foul because they not doing their damn jobs.
Drew Holiday got cut in the eye.
No foul. And Drew got bust in his face to the point blood was streaming down his face. No foul on that play. No foul.
Got through on the Chris Paul threw him on the floor.
No foul.
While he was getting the ball thrown to him.
And AD looks back at the referee. No call. He held his goddamn whistle.
And get this. This the one that really tripped me out. 2 situations. Drew Holiday fouls James Harden on what was that 3-pointer, right?
Okay.
He clearly hit his arm. But it wasn't like in his shooting motion when he hit his arm. If they want to call it like that, well, why they call when AD got an alley earlier in the game, he got fouled on his alley. They took his points away and made us take the ball out from the sideline.
Terrible.
You remember that play?
Yes, I do. And that is just one among.
Why they didn't give us the points and let AD go to the free throw line?
It's just one among many terrible calls. We can't hang it on one team of referees because every night they throw somebody different at you. But
The fix is in on the Pelicans right now with the refs.
And then the culminated the fact that the Pelicans are getting steamed. Anthony Davis was thrown out. They threw him out the game. They didn't technically throw him out, but they gave him 6 fouls in the game before this game against I forget whoever it was. Sheesh. Because they all culminate. But the last game before
that was San Antonio.
He fouled out in this game. Anthony Davis. LaMarcus Aldridge beat the hell out of him in that game. And Anthony Davis fouls out. Anyway, we're about to go into our break. When we come back, we're going to finish up on our topics. And we're going to try to make sense of it best way we can. You're listening to the Pelican Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Eye View, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelicans. Attention, everyone. Get breakdown on games, free agent signings and potential moves, unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Valley. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
I'm a Saints and Pelicans fan, so the only podcast I can get my fix is The Sports Coma with Big Q. The guy's intense, funny, and they always keep it real.
Check out the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
What's up, sports world? This Big Q from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Talking to you about the website, theposhlifestyle.com. That's right, theposhlifestyle.com. A great website where you can get great products at great prices. They sell organic herbs, vitamins, supplements, water filters for your home, EMF and cell phone radiation protection, healing magnetics and healing crystals, personal protection devices like cell phones, stun guns, and mace sprays, organic deodorants, shampoos, soaps, toothpaste, and more. They also sell 10A grade Brazilian hair. 10A music is available now. All kind of the latest downloadable mixtapes. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to theposhlifestyle.com. That's the Posh Lifestyle, life spelled with a Y, LYFE style.com. Put in the Sports Coma for the 10% discount on your purchase. It's a win-win. So get your mind and body right with the Posh Lifestyle.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
You're listening to the Pelicans Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, we are the Pelican Post-Game Report, and we are back talking about this ridiculous loss. 107-101, the Pelicans go down to the Houston Rockets not because the Rockets, of course. Of course, the referees was involved once again. It's the same thing I said from the previous Pelican post-game report, and we got documented evidence. Your damn eyes and common sense to see, as DC said, the fix is in. Listen, man. The Pelicans now, to give you a little backdrop on this whole deal, with the loss today, the Pelicans, not only are they 1-4 out of the last 5 games since the stretch, they have now fallen all the way down from the 5th spot to the 8th spot. San Antonio won tonight. They knocked off Minnesota by 16 points. Convincing win. They leapfrog all the way from the 8th spot to the 5th spot, while the Pelicans fall to the 8th seed, which means they are just a half ahead of Denver, LA, the Clippers first, and then Denver second. So the Pelicans are still in the hunt, but in the cellar. Thanks in part to a lot of the referees. Let's finish up on this before we hit our topics and rapid fire recession. DC, we're looking at the rest of the game. Went over the team stats. Individually speaking, Anthony Davis had 26 points, 13 rebounds in his game through 36 minutes of action. Behind him was Jrue Holiday, 19 points, 7 turnovers for Jrue Holiday in this one. 8 assists, though. He had 6 rebounds at 38 minutes. Still a solid contribution from Drew Holiday, despite the fact that he had those turnovers. 17 points off the bench for Ian Clark. He played really masterful. Darius Miller, 13 points off the bench, 4 of 6. He had 4 3-pointers in this game, 4 of 6 from downtown in 30 minutes of action, finished with 13. Sheik Diallo was also, had an impact, 6 points, 4 rebounds, a couple of blocks.
He had a major impact on the game, man. He championed the first run we had. It was like a 7-0 run. And the whole night when he was on the floor, good things seemed to happen, man. I wish he would have got a few more minutes down the stretch at some point in time, because just felt like he just has something, man, that it factor. It doesn't always show up in points, but he hustles out there, man. He makes things happen when he's on the floor, and I think he really motivates the team.
Nikolai Mirotic finished with 7 points, 4 rebounds, and then, of course, E'Twaun Moore was in the game. 34 minutes, 5 of 11 shooting, 10 points, 5 rebounds for E'Twaun Moore. So that's the Pelicans rundown. Looking at the rest of the opposition points, the top dog for the Houston Rockets was MVP candidate, who probably got it tonight, how he played. 32 points for the bearded one, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, almost a triple-double from the beard. Followed by Chris Paul's 21 points, 5 assists, and 8 rebounds. 17 points for Trevor Ariza, who was very efficient on 6 of 9 shooting. And then, of course, that's 13 points for Clinton Capella, who usually kills the Pelicans. 13 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks for him. And pretty much those guys, those are 4 guys in double figures that did it to the Pelicans. Nobody else had really made any serious impact. Anybody else? Just those, those guys, and of course the referees who did that. Now, of course, we had a few more interviews.
We need to put them in Rockets jerseys.
They were wearing them tonight. They're wearing a bunch of different jerseys. But let's move past the game. Let's hit some of these topics. And let's get into the first one. The refs messed up the game once more for the Pelicans. Now, we went over some of this during the previous segment where we talk about how the referees are inconsistently calling these games. Anthony Davis is getting beat up. Like El Gentry said, he's getting mauled, he's getting abused, he's getting beat up, and the calling is not consistent. If the NBA bet not fine El Gentry, because they're doing everything they're supposed to do. Find your own goddamn refs for not making the calls. Because that's why people are getting pissed off, because the games are not being officiated correctly and they're being officiating wrong. And you can't blame it on the referees, because they're talking to the suckers in Secaucus, New Jersey, while they're looking at the slow motion replays.
Who they gonna believe, me or their lying eyes?
So, let's talk about that, DC. Comments on the refs messing up the game once more, causing a Pelican loss here. Fouled them out last game.
What you gonna do about it? I said it's a foul, okay? It's typical mob boss mentality, man. You clearly see what it is. There was at least 5 or 6 times we saw blatant fouls on the Pelicans. They don't get called. And half of the impact on maybe the Houston side would a Pelican player may do, and that would get a foul very easily. James Harden had no problem getting fouls. He's the master at that. That's the major part of his game. But it doesn't seem to affect any other team but the Pelicans. So clearly it must be our fault, I guess. That's the thinking they're probably going to say with us. Somebody dives at you and wipes out your legs, and they just call the ball out of bounds on you. I just find that kind of weird.
Yeah, that's absolutely pathetic, man. Absolutely.
If it would have been on the other end, they would have definitely called a foul on us.
Absolutely.
I don't think they would have thought twice. The whistle would have been blown while the guy was running over that.
I think it's absolutely a crying shame that the NBA is that this is what we're witnessing from this team. It's just pathetic. Now, we talked about Anthony Davis. He was fouled. He fouled out against the San Antonio Spurs game with 21 points in that game. This game here, Anthony Davis, you could see that it was mounting up. He could have been, and even David Wesley made a really astute observation. He's saying Anthony Davis needs to be more aggressive with these small forwards and these small guards that he's that he bought in him.
Yeah.
He finished with 25 points, I think. Well, hold on, let me make sure.
26.
26 points. Now,
26 points.
Now, this was a game. Andy Davis should have finished with at least 30 points. At least 30 points. Easily. Because they didn't. They came out with P.J. Tucker to guard him. P.J. Tucker. Tucker is only 6'7", and AD could have been more physical. I know they was beating him up. I get you. I get that.
No, that's not what I'm gonna say.
All right, go ahead.
What I noticed was when AD would have the ball, AD is a very smart player. And tonight, if you really watch the game, you go back and look at the replays, you'll see AD would get the ball. They have PJ Tucker on him, but when he gets the ball and he starts to post up, Clint Capella is fading towards him. You got Harden looking at him. Chris Paul's watching him. He's got like 4 people looking at him, man, ready for him to make a move, and they're trying to jump on him either way. And he realized that, so he would try and kick it out to his teammates. But you know what I say? The hell with that sometimes.
Yes.
Like, man, just go ahead and force the issue.
Yes.
You
force
the
foul.
Man. They can't stop you, even if it's 4 of them. They gotta foul you to stop you. So, I think he should stay smart the way he is and kick the ball out to his teammates at times, and other times in the game he just has to take it upon himself to just say the hell with it. I'm shooting it, make or miss. James Harden had that mentality. Look how it panned out for them. I feel like even though the refs are giving us the raw end of the stick, if AD would be a little more aggressive,
they force their hand,
force them to make the calls.
Correct.
Constantly, like, okay, y'all ain't call it last time. Watch this.
Watch this.
Watch
right.
this.
Right.
Look, they get on my neck this time.
Right.
Make them call it. Like he gotta have that mentality. And Boston was a team that he torched last time, so I think we come out and play Boston. I think he will with this game moving forward. But
all right,
he just gotta say the hell with it and adopt the old Kobe Bryant mentality, bro. And just put them shots up.
All right, well, let's listen to Anthony Davis. Going to play some of his post-game thing right now. Here's Anthony Davis.
Alvin took his press conference to criticize officials, stand up for you guys. Does that mean something to you? And do you feel like you're being called unfairly in some of these games?
Of course he got his players back, so I don't know what he said. I didn't see the interview, but obviously he feels some type of way, which he should. We think some calls didn't go our way, or made some calls that shouldn't have been made, but there's nothing we can do about it.
Does it mean anything to you that your coach is willing to stand up for the team what he did tonight?
Oh, for sure. Anytime you got a coach like that, who's fighting for his players, it means a lot to the whole locker room. He was upset about it during the game, after the game, getting texts. So, like I said, you just know as a player that your coach has your back.
Do you feel like you're called differently than other guys, either around the league or your size or anything like that? Do you feel like there's some sort of hypocrisy that takes place?
It is what it is. Whether I say yes or no, it's not going to change the way they officiate. Just got to find a way to adjust.
How tough is it to defend Harden with some of the calls he gets and the way he plays and stuff like that?
Yeah, he gets every call. And I think we did a good job on him tonight. I think he shot 28 shots, something like that. Only had 32 points, but I think what killed us tonight was they got a lot of transition threes. That kind of was the game right there. Fast break points. Half-court defense, we're fine. Trevor got a couple threes. PJ, in transition, kind of opened the game up a little bit.
What do you think Harden gets all those calls? Is it just a style of play?
I have no idea.
Do you think this is a team you could be playing in the playoffs? Does a night like this show that you could match with them? I mean, you obviously, with DeMarcus, you were able to beat him, but does this kind of give you a little bit of confidence
for
that
sure,
they show?
We're play them again next week, so this weekend, whatever. So we'll match up again, but we feel like we can compete with anybody, match up with anybody, and we just know that we're able to beat this team.
Alvin took his press conference to criticize officials, stand up for you guys. Does that mean something to you? And do you feel like you're being called unfairly in some of these games?
That's Anthony Davis, man, giving you his thoughts post game. Of course, the reporter mentioned Al Gentry and that. DC, let's move into our next round of questions here, brother, as we're getting closer toward the end of the show. Let's give our takes here. I'm going to ask you this quickly. What happened besides the referees? We can't totally pin this on the blind garbage refs. their ridiculous garbage time refereeing, if that's what you want to call it. They need to all send their checks back because they stink. But this is the thing. I've witnessed the Pelicans could have eventually took the referees completely out of this game if they had played better defense. I've witnessed personally, and you give your take here, 8 times that the Pelicans allowed a team that can shoot the three as efficiently and as well as the Rockets. They allowed them to take 8 wide open three-pointers. So we might be upset about the garbage time few plays that the refs had, but the Pelicans really did this to themselves in the end by playing shitty defense. Pardon my French. Go ahead, friend. What's your comment on that?
Wasn't nothing French about that. That was all American, man. He right on.
Maybe a little Portuguese too.
Rotations are horrible, man. Horrible on these 3-point shots. They really need to tighten that up and get it together. This is something that's been ongoing all season, but it shows up majorly when we play the Rockets.
All right. Well, some players haven't showed up, DC. We mentioned that earlier. And one of my players I won't throw in and call. I have to call the police to see if they can put an APB out right here. And we might have the sirens going right now, as you can hear them. Where the hell is E'Twaun Moore? Where is that E'Twaun Moore disappeared to?
I told you what E'Twaun Moore. E'Twaun Moore is playing with his fingernails, like you see him on the commercial breaks all the time when he's supposed to be listening to the plays. E'Twaun Moore is checked out mentally, man. But for some reason in the fourth quarter, he decides to knock down 6 straight points. I'm like, where the hell was this guy all game? I don't know what's going on with him, but it's clearly all mental. So he need to get it together.
You're absolutely right, and I've taken up for E'Twaun. I could have lambasted E'Twaun. He could have became
He's a good player, man.
He could have became the new Drew Holiday to me. You know what I'm saying? The old
that's
Drew
what
Holiday.
He's becoming.
Well, that's true. But this is what I'm saying. E'Twaun Moore, I've given him credit because he's tasked with the most difficult position. He has to guard guys at 3 inches taller and 20 pounds heavier than him every night. That is definitely impacting his game. So, we might need to – that leads us to our next question or topic, which is what needs to happen here. What needs to happen for us to break out of this 1 out of 4, winning 1 of 5, actually. 1 of 5, we're 1-4 the last 5 games since the winning streak. What needs to change quickly in your estimation?
Stop turning the ball over, number one.
Okay.
We need to really figure that out. Make AD the man, bro. I mean, he has to be the guy. 2-3 guys on him. Sometimes he still got to take the shot. So AD got to be more aggressive, and we have to do better. I mean, dramatically better on our defensive rotations. We clean it up from time to time, and then we fall right back into the hole.
They play defense very spottily. You know what I'm saying? It's inconsistent. They're like I said. You cannot allow 8. And there were more than that, but I'm just from my counting of the game, I've witnessed them allow 8 wide open 3-pointers that were made. It's not attempts. This were ones that I've seen them make in the game. 8 wide open 3-pointers. That's 24 points to a team shooting a 3-pointer that you cannot allow that to happen. Walk up easy layups. One shot, they all vacate. Nobody's fighting for the offensive rebound. Sheik Diallo's not getting enough opportunities. Emeka Okafor is not, in my estimation, not getting enough time on the floor. We need to see more DeAndre Liggins and move E'Twaun Moore to the bench and let him and Ian Clark come off the bench with Mirotic and Sheik Diallo. That empowers the bench. They had how many points tonight, DC? Almost 40 points tonight? 37?
Yeah, I would disagree a little bit. I think Liggins should start. I agree with that. Some games. Other games, I think you should run Rondo, Drew Holiday, run Mirotic at the 3, and have E'Twaun Moore come off the bench and see how that looks.
Okay.
With Okafor and AD.
Fair
I think
enough.
we should get that rotation a shot.
That sounds good, man. I like that. But, it's just to me, and could we say, can I say this? I would like El Gentry, just like he sticks to that starting lineup of Rondo, Holiday, Moore, Davis, Okafor, that he sticks to that second rotation lineup consistently. Playing Sheik Diallo like he's supposed to. Along
Yeah,
with
Sheik
Mirotic.
Diallo need to get minutes.
He
every
deserved
game.
he deserved
At
to
least
get minutes
15
every damn game. That hurt us against Houston because we needed this hustle. I don't know why El Gentry didn't play him last game, but that hurt the team not having him out there.
You mean against the Spurs?
Yes. He didn't play any minutes, and that's a damn shame. You know, so I'm advocating for that lineup change. We need to change something. We need to move somebody out of the lineup. I say we move Etuan to the bench, which I think he'll be better at worrying about guarding guards as opposed to guarding small forwards. Let the man that's a small forward, that's a guard, that's a big guard small forwards, 6'6", 7 guys. Let him worry about it. But anyway, let's go to our big up segments. DC, give me one big up guy that you want to shout out for the big up segment.
I ain't shouting out no players, man. We all played.
Boy, you keep doing shout out to yourself.
I'm gonna give up a big ups to Al Gentry, man, for telling it like it is.
All right.
Saying what every Pelicans fan would love to get in front of the microphone and say. So I'm gonna give a big ups to Al Gentry.
Can I give 2 big ups? Can I do that?
You can do whatever you want, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So generous. I'm going to give 2 big ups for our very first big up segments. We usually do one for the Sports Coma and the Saints, but this is the first one we did for the Pelican postgame report. But I'm going to give a big ups. I'm going to take DC's guy. I'm going to give credit to Al Gentry because I love what he said, and I would love to see that fiery Al Gentry a little bit more. And also I want to give a big shout out to Ian Clark, who put in a very good game today. He played really well in this game despite the fact that the Pelicans end up losing this game, but Ian Clark was pretty good. He's been pretty good off the bench for the Pelicans.
It wasn't his fault.
No, right. He played well. You know, he finished with 17 points off the bench. You know, he was the 3rd top scorer in the game. You know, and he played 31 minutes. He scored 17 points on 8 of 9 shooting. He was 1 of 1 from downtown. Ian Clark, 17 points. I give a big shout out to Ian Clark. So let's move on, and a small shout-out to Sheik Diallo. His energy really helped us as well. A small shout-out to him if I can do that as well. But anyway, DC, let's move into the next – let's move into our next matchup here. The Pelicans, of course, it's the first of 5 home games, very tough games, that the Pelicans have to play. Tomorrow, they have the Boston Celtics rolling in here, DC. They got the Celtics. The only problem is Kyrie Irving is day to day. Marcus Smart is out. Jaylen Brown is out. You know, and a lot of the key personnel for this team is hurt. It's hurting right now. So we might be able to sneak something with this team. They're averaging about 105 points a game while giving up 100. 45% from the field. 44 rebounds per game. 22 assists per game, 5 blocks a game, 7 steals a game, and they beat Orlando 92-83. They really just snapped the 2-game losing streak to Indiana and Washington with that Orlando win. So they're 7-3 the last 10 games, not too shabby. Pelicans coming in at 112 a game, giving up 111, 48% from the field, 44 rebounds flat, 26.5 assists. 6 blocks a game, 8 steals a game, losers of 2 in a row, and they're 6-4 of the last 10. Like I told you, 1 of 5 the last 5. Not looking good as the Pelicans fall all the way to the 8th seed. They're a game and a half over Los Angeles Clippers and the Nuggets, who are sitting out in the 9th and 10th spots, just outside of arm's touch. DC. Who wins this game against the Celtics and the Pelicans? Who wins and why, my friend?
If I was a betting man, I would put money on the Pelicans this next game. After you've seen this tonight, they're going to be very, very upset. This is not the usual. You got Tom Benson dying the other game. Now tonight, you got this going on with the refs again. And I think they're going to be teed off, man. So they're going to have a mentality to not allow the refs to be able to control the game when they go out there tomorrow and get a victory.
It's going to be a tough one, man. The Boston Celtics are not a pushover, despite the fact that they are missing some of their key personnel. A lot of their top personnel.
They're not a pushover, but they leaning on the wall right now with all them injuries, man.
That's true. They still have Al Horford. They still have a few of the other big guns. Jalen, what's this other kid name? Terry Rozier, Tatum is still there. So they still are good. But I'm like I said, I called the last one. I said the Pelicans was going to lose this Houston game. I think they're going to rebound with a win over Boston because it's going to be emotional. You know, they're attempting to keep pace in the Western Conference playoff race. You have to be able to take advantage of teams when they are, especially East teams, when they come into your building. The Pelicans haven't played weller than they're supposed to play playing in the West. So I'm going to agree with DC on this and say that the Pelicans will get the win. I got to give it to you, DC. I'm going to agree with you, my friend. I'm going to go with the Pelicans on this one. And that's just about all the time we have tonight on the Pelican Post-Game Report. We'd like to thank y'all for joining us. And as always, join our social media family, please, at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, definitely at YouTube. If you want to know all of the links to those pages and all the other ones, check in the description section. It'll show you all of those links. And while you're there, go to www.patreon.com. Go to www.patreon.com/the PRO Media Network and donate if you enjoy the shows. If you enjoy, give us a shout out, share the show with other Pelican fans, other NBA fans, and whatnot. But as always, from me, I'm Big Q in DC. I tell y'all peace and check out the podcast later.
All right, peace.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
What's up, world? This is DC from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Have you ever been sitting in front of your computer screen, or in traffic, tired, lacking energy, feeling drained? Did you know there are electromagnetic fields or EMF waves all around you that cause this disease? Get it? Dis-ease? Luckily here at Posh Lifestyle, you can get your EMF protection. They have pendants, the shell-dyed bricks, cubes, and pyramids. Check out the PoshLifestyle.com. That's life spelled with a Y. PoshLyfestyle.com for all your health needs. So get your mind and body right with a Posh Lifestyle.
Clear, clean, great-tasting filtered water. We're all thirsty for it. But in the U.S. alone, an estimated 2.5 million plastic bottles are added to the environment each year in search of the perfect drink of water. There has to be a better solution, and there is. Crystal Quest, a leader in the manufacturing of water filtration technology, has been providing clean, drinkable water for 20 years. With a deep commitment to providing the highest quality products and excellent customer service, Crystal Quest has been recognized by such leaders as Consumers Digest, Dr. Oz, and Colin Ingram's The Water Drinking Book. Providing cost-effective, reliable water filtration systems for residential, commercial, and industrial customers worldwide, offering our customers the cleanest and most environmental-friendly drinking water at a rating of high purity. With Crystal Quest's water filtration technology, you can rest assured that your water will be crystal clear. Contact our network of authorized distributors and join our thousands of satisfied customers.
Just log into thePoshLifestyle.com. Once again, that is thePoshLifestyle.com.
You're listening to the Pelicans Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
In today's world, children are bombarded with negativity on television, online, and at school. Our kids need to have a positive outlook on life and the world around them. I want to share with you a valuable resource you can use to bring positivity into your child's life. It's the new book, 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad, G.J. Barabino. This is a simple guide loaded with wonderful and inspirational inspirational affirmations designed to uplift young people's spirits. This positive and powerful children affirmational is chock full and loaded with wonderful inspirational sayings that will lift your child's self-image to whole new levels through the awesome power of spoken word. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image from author and dad G.J. Barabino. Available on Amazon. Order a copy for yourself, your child's teachers, or anyone you know with children. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image. Order your copy today.
What is big? Big is taking flight. Big is sending back that weak sauce. Big is ball handling that sets the hardwood on fire. New Orleans Pelicans, do it big.